The CM and the Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh have been daggers drawn for quite some time. Earlier, the murmurings were in private. Now, for the first time, they're being expressed in public, which is different from what we've seen in the last 10 years because no one in the last 2 terms of the Modi government has spoken out against a party colleague openly or discreetly in public for the last decade or so. That now seems to be changing, not just within the party. Many alliance partners of the likes of Anupriya Patel, Sanjay Nishad, the smaller regional allies have been speaking quite openly about what's going wrong with the Uttar Pradesh government. So what really is at play? What might happen from here? Who was to blame for the BJP's debacle in Uttar Pradesh, coming down from 62 to 33 seats? And what impact could this have in the assembly by-polls and then the assembly elections a couple of years from now? Those are the big questions in Indian politics, and Uttar Pradesh matters the most because this is the state that really sets the trend and the direction for national politics. I'm joined on this broadcast by Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Squaring off against her, Ghanshyam Tiwari from the Samajwadi Party. Shantanu Gupta is the biographer of Yogi Adityanath, and Sharad Pradhan is a senior journalist and long-time watcher of Uttar Pradesh politics. I want to go across to Sanju Verma first. This whole idea that there'll be murmurings within the BJP, which will be expressed publicly, is something that hasn't been seen in the last 10 years. Keshav Prasad Maurya, through what he said at a meeting in Uttar Pradesh on the 14th of July, which was attended by BJP President JP Nadda, seems to have really come out in public what was being discussed in private for quite some time. How do you look at this perception that is now building that your Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister are daggers drawn? Your opponents now, ma'am, trying to fish in muddy waters. Akhilesh Yadav saying there's a monsoon offer, let Keshav Maurya come over with 100 MLAs, I'll make him Chief Minister. We aren't used to seeing all of this in the BJP recently. What's going on here? Sanju Verma.
Rahul, when you say that, opponents are fishing in muddied waters, and you said that, what has never happened in 10 years is now out in the public domain with the CM and Deputy CM at loggerheads. So I want to ask you, what exactly is happening in the public domain? Why are you, trying to read between the lines and say that there is a problem? Are you aware of facts which I am not aware of? Because I don't know what exactly are you trying to insinuate here. What is it between the Deputy CM and the CM Yogi Adityanath that you are aware of that you would like to have your audience know, which gives credence to your assumption that Uttar Pradesh mein sab kuch sahi nahi hai? On what grounds are you making these assumptions?
Fair point. I don't want to enter into a debate myself, so I'll get Sharad Pradhan to answer that question. Now, Sanju Verma makes from the BJP's official spokesperson's perspective a fair point that yes, Yogi Adityanath spoke of overconfidence and that being the undoing of the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections. The Deputy CM says, "Hamare yahan sangathan sadaiv sarkar se bada hota hai. The organization is bigger than the party." Some regional allies have spoken about OBCs and SC/STs not getting jobs. None of this has Keshav Maurya directly attacking the Chief Minister or Yogi Adityanath ji saying something against his deputy, that all this is just kite flying, people having a good time and trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. Nothing has been said expressly which suggests that there is a public expression of discontent. Sharad Pradhan.
Well, Rahul, that is a typical expression of any spokesperson of a party. It's their job, it's a duty they have to carry out. They have to defend the indefensible. Obviously, I don't expect any spokesman of any party to be admitting that everything is wrong within the party. Obviously not. Because that's not their, I mean, they get paid only to defend the party, to protect the party, and to say that everything is goody-goody. Even they will say this even an hour before an earthquake takes place within the party, which is very obvious. So no comment on that. But the fact of the matter is that it is you and I, as journalists, who are expected to read between the lines. As the spokesman says, and that you're reading between the lines. This is a journalist's job to read between the lines. Obviously, it is not a spokesperson's job to do that. And as journalists, we ought to understand
No, okay.
We ought to
So let's
apply our
leave that
minds
aside.
to apply
Explain as best as you
see.
can what you think is currently wrong in Uttar Pradesh. They haven't attacked each other directly. What is it that you're joining the dots to decipher, which you think our viewers should know? Shar Pradhan.
Well, it is, we have been watching this happening, not from today, for a long time. And if anybody cannot see it, one has to be completely blind. And only a party worker can be blind. Outsiders and an objective observer will not be blind to what is happening inside. It is a fact that that everything is not in order within the BJP. And BJP is a divided house in Uttar Pradesh. It became very evident in the last 1 week. And there have been the kind of statements given by insiders like this Ramesh Mishra, the MLA, former Minister Moti Singh, who have said it in almost as many words. Obviously, they are not expected. Somebody, an insider, is not going to say, no, throw away Modi, throw out Modi. This is the language which is used.
Rahul.
And I'm sorry to say that, I don't expect a spokesperson to, even if they understand this, even if they have the ability to understand this, they are not expected to.
Okay, Sanjuji, I'll come back to you in just a moment. Let me go across to the other guests and get in opening comments from them. Ghanshyam Tiwari, now your leader Akhilesh Yadav has made a monsoon offer. Crossover with 100 MLAs, Keshav Maurya, I'll make you Chief Minister. He said this during the elections as well. Now the Samajwadi Party is clearly having a good time. From the BJP's perspective, they're introspecting what went wrong. They're discussing with their party leaders in Uttar Pradesh. Nadda ji is there, BL Santosh is there. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, something went wrong if they've come down from 62 to 33. And they're assessing and dissecting this. Is Akhilesh Yadav trying to be too clever by half by putting out this monsoon offer?
Good evening, Rahul, to you, the viewers and fellow co-panelists. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Gujarat to Mizoram. Do you know of any state where BJP has not run operational Kamal, which is basically backstabbing any party, their own ally, other party, a party that has mastered this Operation Kamal, backstabbing democracy and their allies, is now being mocked by not just people, by Samajwadi Party. I think it's a welcome sign of humor in democracy. That's point number one. On 15th April 2024, Mr. Adityanath said that Uttar Pradesh mein BJP is going to win 80 seats and that will be the basis of 400 par. And then he wrote Modi ki guarantee on BJP UP Uttar Pradesh handle. So this chaos that BJP is witnessing is because of the complete failure of this double engine. That does not deliver, that speaks highly, but does not deliver. And it is not the infighting of Keshav Prasad Maurya as well as Yogi Adityanath that will turn around BJP. The crisis in BJP is of governance. We have train accidents happening every day. We have over 20 districts in Uttar Pradesh affected by floods. We have a headless administration. People don't know who to turn to given the chaos that is underplaying. And we have two leaders, Keshav Prasad Maurya and Adityanath. Both are don't have the credential of turning around governance with respect to jobs, with respect to exams, with respect to other issues. So they can blame each other, but the reality is people want them out.
Shantanu Gupta, Sanjuji, I'll come back to you. Let me give everyone a fair chance. I will come back to you, I promise. Shantanu Gupta, it's the easiest thing to say, Sab changa si, there's no problem. The fact that the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister don't have the best equation has been known to anyone who's even a distant observer of Uttar Pradesh politics. It's been said in private, now it's partly coming out into public. Sanju Verma is right, it's not expressly announced, but it's very clear that there is a murmur of discontent in the Super 30 committee that's been set up. The Chief Minister doesn't have his two deputies. Keshav Maurya comes out, presents himself as a Sangathan ka admi. His suggestion is that Yogi Adityanath doesn't meet ministers, doesn't meet MLAs, and runs the government through bureaucrats. And he says the party workers aren't getting a fair say. Is this just natural for this to happen on the back of an election result which is not as per expectation? Or do you think that the edifice that had been created over the past 10 years of the BJP being a united party is beginning to crack to some extent and it started in Uttar Pradesh?
I think, Rahul, let's accept it that any news on Yogi Adityanath gives TRP.
Sure.
A similar news in Karnataka will not travel to your 8 p.m., 9 p.m. debate. A similar incident in West Bengal or Kerala will not travel to your 8 p.m., 9 p.m. debate. But a incident in UP is because UP is Yogi, right? See, similar news, I'm sure if you check your archive, every 6 months or even every month, whenever Yogi Adityanath meets governor, Yogi Adityanath governor से मिलने जा रहे हैं, क्या अपना इस्तीफा छापेंगे? if Yogi Adityanath meets Amit Shah, talab karega Delhi mein. He's a disciplined guy. He meets Amit Shah very often. He meets the Narendra Modi very often. He takes notes. He comes back, right? Remember in 2021, just on 5th June is Yogi Adityanath's birthday, right? On 2021, 5th June, when Narendra Modi did not tweet on Yogi Adityanath's birthday, I attended 12 debates in one day. Oh my God, Narendra Modi did not tweet. Is Yogi will be sad because he did not tweet on his birthday. Then we realized Narendra Modi was not tweeting on anybody's birthday in Corona time. He was calling, right? Can you imagine the level of discord? I'm not saying everything is hunky-dory, but that's the space BJP gives. See, Narendra Modi did not come in 2014 as a PM candidate in a hunky-dory environment, right? He pulled all the levers. There was a camp in Delhi. That's a space BJP provides. If you have a merit, just come there, right? If Ghanshyam Tiwari cannot even think of becoming a Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, but Sanjeev Verma can, right, to her state, because that's the space BJP provides, right?
She's very happy. You're making a Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. She's pleased at punch. But anyway, let's not get distracted. Let's focus.
I'm sure you got the point. You got the larger point. There is a space available and the maneuvering happening. But I'm sure in your own survey, India Today does a survey of Chief Minister. Yogi Adityanath is the number one Chief Minister India Today survey from many times with almost 45-58% ratings, right? So why will BJP will be suicidal to remove such a CM, sir? But I'm sure it will give TRP. We all will keep debating it. So I'm saying let's.
Okay. No. So Yashwant Deshmukh, let's try and put this in perspective through data. You know, the spectre that's being created is Chief Minister versus Deputy Chief Minister, and that they're somehow two equal opponents. The fact is, as Shantanu Gupta mentioned, that Yogi Adityanath is one of the most popular chief ministers in the country, arguably one of the most prominent BJP leaders nationally at this moment, a star campaigner. And Keshav Maurya, despite the fact that he was BJP state president before the BJP came to power in Uttar Pradesh in 2017, isn't of the same political pedigree. You also come from Uttar Pradesh, so what do you think is going on and how does this play in terms of data? As Shantanu mentions, the conspiracy which no one is speaking about is, will Delhi change Uttar Pradesh's chief minister? Will there be a new chief minister? Does it make any sense at all for BJP even to be analyzing that question, or is this idle speculation by those who are trying to fish in troubled waters?
Well, I think there is some truth to every argument that I have heard so far. I mean, it's coming from different perspective. What Shantanu said makes sense to me because, in our MOTN survey for India Today, we have been consistently pointing out that UP, apart from Assam, happens to be the only among the two states where the double engine actually works. The rest of the other engines have been always a liability, largely, broadly speaking, But having said that, the number one fact from the data is that Mr. Yogi happens to be perceived as the most popular chief minister in India by the people of India. So that's fact number one. No doubt about that. Fact number two, within the BJP, people have to understand that the 2014, 2017, 2019, these three mandates largely were actually they were in the name of Mr. Narendra Modi. No other BJP leader can claim that the UP mandates were given in his or her name. So as an organization, as a party is important for them, organization is important for them, goes without saying as the BJP's working style is concerned. But the fact is also there, even though Mr. Modi is extremely popular, his popularity was added with the superlative popularity of Mr. Yogi, and the mandates after that were coming in favor of the duo. But that was unquestionable till 2024 Lok Sabha elections happened. Obviously, that was a rude shock for everybody. Even the journalists, pollsters, the political animals, for that, to an extent that even Mr. Tiwari would not have been expecting that kind of a mandate from UP in his wildest dreams. Jokes apart. But jitna tha usse bahut zyada hai. The thing is that, obviously, if something that has gone wrong in their home, that was supposed to deliver them 70 plus seats, the questions are going to be raised. The introspection is going to be done, and there would be trouble inside, which everybody else, as Ghanshyamji's party, would love to, fish in, at least for the fun part of it. I don't know how much of that would eventually yield, because as far as Keshav Maurya is concerned, he is a big-time organization guy, very, very disciplined guy. So I doubt that
Okay, of course.
anybody from
You know,
the
this
BJP
is
rank
just
and file will take
Akhilesh
over.
being politically mischievous, assuming that he can lay out this offer.
Why
Keshav
not?
Maurya is
He
going
has all
nowhere.
the right
It's
to be
internal
mischievous,
jostling.
Rahul.
Sanju Verma, when she
He has
started,
all the
said,
right to be
"Batao, what has
mischievous.
been
Why
said
not?
in public." Which suggests that there is trouble. So I'll take you through, Sanjuji, some of these comments. Your alliance partner Sanjay Nishad says, "Garib ko ujadenge to wo hame ujad dega rajniti mein. Uproot the poor and they'll uproot us in politics." He also criticized the misuse of bulldozers by the UP government. Anupriya Patel wrote a letter to the Chief Minister expressing concerns about government jobs reserved for OBCs, SCs ending up in general categories. She's saying these candidates are often not found suitable and she was quite upset with it. Ramesh Chandra Mishra, who's the Jaunpur district BJP MLA from Badlapur constituency, says our party is in bad state in UP. If immediate remedial measures are not taken, we will not be able to return to power in the 2027 assembly elections. Devendra Pratap Singh, an MLC of the BJP, says workers of the party are being neglected. There is loot within the bureaucracy. I can go on. You know, Sunil Barnala, former minister, senior leader, says, I feel Bhupendra Chaudhary, the party president, should have resigned on his own. Whatever Keshav Maurya has said is absolutely correct. Earlier leaders were resigning themselves. Now Bhupendra Chaudhary should resign. So there is enough discontent. Even if Keshav Maurya or the Chief Minister haven't said anything against each other, from Fateh Bahadur Singh, who's a BJP MLA and former UP minister, to Rajendra Pratap Singh, alias Moti Singh, who's a former BJP minister, who said, I have no hesitation in saying that in 42 years of my political life, I could not imagine or see such kind of corruption at the Tehsil and police station level, which is unimaginable. Now, these are all BJP leaders and they're speaking against each other and your government in public, ma'am.
Rahul, first and foremost, I'm going to make some very important points now, and I don't wish to be heckled because I've listened to everybody very patiently. First and foremost, you mentioned Sanjay Nishad, Anupriya Patel, Fateh Bahadur Singh, Sunil Barnala, Ramesh Mishra, Devendra Pratap Singh, Moti Singh, so on and so forth. मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ जहाँ दो बर्तन रहेंगे आपस में टकराएंगे. And I think the best sign of a healthy, vibrant government is that the cabinet ministers can voice their dissent. And I use the word dissent for want of a better phrase. But voicing your dissent in the public domain does not necessarily mean that BJP में कलह मच गई है, कलेश मच गया है. And I still maintain there is no statement from Keshav Prasad Maurya in the public domain, or for that matter Yogi Adityanath in the public domain, saying that all is not well between number 1 and number 2. My third point is this, and this is for Mr. Sharad Pradhan. First and foremost, and yes, you can laugh, but let me have my say because I heard you very patiently. You said, you know, BJP spokespersons are paid to do this. They are paid to say XYZ. So let me correct you, Mr. Pradhan. I have never taken a single penny from the BJP. I do this because it's my passion. I don't get a salary for it. Point number 1. Point number 2. You said it is the job of BJP spokespersons to defend XYZ. Let me correct you again. It is not the job. It is the duty of BJP spokespersons to call out the bluff of some journalists who've been saying since 2014 कि इस देश में कुछ सही हुआ ही नहीं है. And my third point, you raise doubts on the ability of spokespersons to understand the nuances of politics. So let me tell you, Mr. Pradhan, I have been on a few debates with you. 2017, you said, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, the BJP will not form a government in Uttar Pradesh. You had egg all over your face. Ahead of 2022 assembly polls, I was on a zillion debates with you.
If she gets personal like this, Rahul,
okay, Sanjuji, complete very quickly. Sanju Verma, please complete very quickly. Sharad Bhai, I'll come to you in a moment. Let her complete.
No, because I did not heckle him. You allowed him a free run. Or I will not do the debate because I need my time. I am not here to listen to rubbish from somebody without having the time to rebut.
No, 1 second. Put Sharad Pradhan's fader down. I'm going to give you 25 more seconds to complete your argument, Sanju Verma.
No, I need 45 seconds.
Okay, take 45 seconds. No problem, 45 seconds. Go for it.
Yes. So now the last point to Sharad Pradhan. And let me be very clear. You said ahead of 2022 assembly polls, चाहे दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, whether sun rises in the east or not, sun sets in the west or not, but Yogi Adityanath will never form the government again in 2022. And Sharad Pradhan, you again had a nice big fat omelette on your face, so don't question my understanding of Uttar Pradesh politics. But my final rebuttal to Ghanshyam Tiwari, he said, oh, Uttar Pradesh में तो development हुआ नहीं, that is why कलह कलेश मच गया. Ghanshyam, I'm not going to talk about the Gorakhpur Link Expressway or the Bundelkhand Expressway or the Noida Airport. I'm talking about these upcoming projects which were lying in abeyance for decades under an incompetent Akhilesh Yadav. Ganga Expressway, Noida Film City project, Ayodhya Ram Temple, Delhi Meerut RRTS project, Agra Metro, Lucknow Metro, Kanpur Metro, all these are coming to fruition.
So you've had your 45 seconds. I want to go across to Sharad Pradhan now. To respond to the charge that where there are two political vessels, there will be some clanging noises that will be heard. This is, for example, take the instance of a newsroom. If we miss a big story or a big interview, there will be some internal wrangling. Isne chhod diya, usne nahi kiya, isne nahi kiya. I mean, it's only natural. Now, if your seats go down from 62 to 33, where would you have a situation where there is a little bit of blame game that doesn't come? I mean, you've been in newsrooms. If you miss a story or an interview, there will be, it doesn't mean that somebody is leaving or they're taking up Akhilesh Yadav's monsoon offer. It just means that this is just the very nature of Indian politics or global politics, in fact.
Well, I don't agree with that. It's only somebody politically naive will believe that if they don't understand, don't have the ability to understand, to read between the lines, I can only pity them. I can pity their intellect. And
I pity you.
Also tell you that you have to be pitied. You can't help it.
I pity you.
I wish you had the intellect.
No, one second. You had a free run to make your argument. Allow Sharad Pradhan the same courtesy. Sharad Pradhan, please go on.
All that I know,
Let's not get personal. Sharad bhai, you're way too senior a journalist and an analyst and an author to get personal. Let's stick to powerful arguments. Please don't lower the quality of this debate.
Point is, Rahul, that this talk has been going on behind the scenes. Even the leaders who are involved in this whole thing, they confess to you in private. Obviously, there are things which cannot be stated in, whether it is BJP or Congress or Samajwadi Party or Mayawati's party, anyone, who will be as foolish to bring these things in public domain. This is how the rumblings begin. And if somebody cannot understand that, I'm sorry to say, well, we have seen this. I have spent 47 years in journalism, Rahul, and the nuances is what experience gives you to understand. You can't understand the nuances, and sometimes you cannot admit the nuances. What is happening on ground, you are not expected to admit it because it is your job.
Okay. No, so now one second. I want to go to Shantanu Gupta. Shantanu, the fact is is the mahal getting spoilt a little bit? You know, in the way that this rumbling is happening, you're denying it. Sanju Verma is denying it. The opposition is stepping in, trying to fuel the flame. Some of these comments have been made in public. I read out a list of BJP leaders, alliance partners who've spoken, even if Yogi hasn't spoken against Keshav Maurya and vice versa, very explicitly, others have spoken quite clearly. Does all of this, and the Chief Minister says this in that comment that he made, that the opposition was earlier completely demotivated. They were down in the dumps. Through these results and through this supposed spectre of infighting, the opposition is getting emboldened, which makes it tougher for you for the assembly bypolls and also for the assembly elections. Earlier, Akhilesh seemed confused. He was working hard but not getting results. He didn't know what to do. He was running out of ideas. Now he's pumped and charged and thinks 2027 will be an equal battle.
Rahul, I'll articulate the same thing again. So when you get a leader like Yogi Adityanath, where you cannot find any major fault in his administration, right? What you try to create artificial fights. So various combination that Modi and Yogi are fighting, Amit Shah and Yogi are fighting, Sunil Bansal and Yogi are fighting, and various other Pradesh Adhyaksh and Yogi are fighting, are newsroom debates, and maybe in your channel, multiple channels, multiple YouTube channels. In fact, multiple YouTube channels are running their house through controversies in UP. That's all. And none of them, Sharad Pradhan, as he said, he has 47 years of experience, but I have been in multiple debates. Not even 4 prediction of his gone true in last 7 years.
Exactly.
Right? He can have 47 years of experience. These controversy theories.
You are a party.
Sharad Pradhan, let him speak, please. I want to follow the same rule for everyone. Let's try and raise the quality of debate. Allow Shantanu Gupta the opportunity to complete his argument.
Yogi Adityanath creates TRP. I'm saying on a similar news in Karnataka, West Bengal will not travel, and then we'll keep talking. You're right. This will kharab the mahal.
No, but
right?
nobody in Gujarat has spoken against Bhupinder Patel. No one in Assam has spoken against Hemanta Biswa Sarma. So that's not quite the case. If you look at the series of comments that have been made by your alliance partners.
How many debates we see of Siddaramaiah?
No, we've done many on Siddaramaiah. In fact, the last debate itself was on the SC/ST scam and what was happening in Karnataka.
I'm sure you understand. Yogi brings TRP. But again, आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा. The mahal खराब होता है. It creates a bad vibe. In the Karyakarta, he says, "Oh my God, I love Modi, I love Yogi, I love Keshav Prasad Maurya. Are they really fighting?" That's what I'm saying. If we are stretching out of, we are also party to this mahal kharab karna, right? We are the party, which is some friction might be happening, as you rightly said. If a competitive team is going forward to running a state like Uttar Pradesh, there will be some friction. And very interestingly, a lot of people who put their moral antennas down, moral antennas up, even if an MLA switches from one, and now Akhilesh Yadav is giving an open offer on Twitter, and no more antennas are up. No Twitterati is saying, "Oh my God, this horse trading," right?
No, one second. I want to remind Ghanshyam Tiwari that when Akhilesh Yadav was Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, one of the big political jokes was that there are 5.5 Chief Ministers because his uncles and some bureaucrats were pulling in different directions. And the spectre of infighting, Shivpal versus Akhilesh, was much worse. I mean, there is some murmur for sure. I mean, nobody can take that away. But the kind of infighting we saw on your watch was far worse than anything that's been seen at the moment.
Well, three things, Rahul. One, that the outcome that we see right now is not because of TRP battles. It's because people have rejected BJP in Uttar Pradesh and the mandate is against them. From Ayodhya all the way to Varanasi, the writing is on the wall. That's point number one. That rejection has happened for three reasons. One, their model of fear and greed is undone. Nobody fears Adityanath. The state is infamous for atrocities, bulldozers, injustice, custodial deaths, fake encounters. That's the legend of or fake legend of Adityanath. Nobody fears him anymore. People don't fear Modi anymore. So that's fear is undone. Greed is undone. A party that amassed 13,000 crores in Chandalo Dhandalo model said we will be in power till 2047. They don't know whether they'll be power in 2027, 2029. They don't even know that in sitting on a cycle of TDP will be in power in center. The third thing that is undone is this whole idea of double engine. There's no double engine. Adityanath has zero credentials of governance. Can he do anything with respect to jobs? Has anybody heard any idea on jobs? Can he do anything with the failing infrastructure of Uttar Pradesh? Can Modi ji do anything with respect to the failure in exams? The Supreme Court is still looking at that decision. Can they do anything with respect to the train accidents? The zero credentials are visible because their loudspeakers have gone off.
Okay. So now this is where Yashwant Deshmukh. No, I will go in sequence so that I give everyone a fair and equal opportunity. Yashwant Deshmukh, this is where the 10 assembly by-elections, the by-polls become very crucial. Because if the BJP is able to win, say, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, then it says, see, the Lok Sabha elections were an aberration and that sanity has been restored, life is back to normal, Sab changa si, and governance goes on. If, on the other hand, the India Alliance, which is fighting 7-3, 7 for the SP, 3 for the Congress, is able to win a large majority of the seats, then could it further, increase the idea that there is something terribly wrong in the way Uttar Pradesh is being run? These by-polls become exceedingly important.
I couldn't agree more, Rahul, because the by-polls are going to be the litmus test to put everything at rest. I mean, if they go the BJP way, then I don't think that questions are going to be laid down that if you can win the by-polls after that kind of election, that certainly means.
No, but isn't it correct that in most by-polls, the party that's in governance at the state tends to have the advantage in most of these state assembly by-polls?
I know, Rahul, but it's a catch-22 situation. It's a very, very funny and ironical situation. Suppose, hypothetically speaking, case one, if the BJP loses the by-polls, then there would be concerns and debates about anti-incumbency gaining ground in Uttar Pradesh. Whether after these many years, if the BJP's structure, its vote base, support base is going down. But in case if the BJP manages to win the by-polls, it will be even more ironical because then the questions would be, if you could win the by-polls, why could you not win the Lok Sabha elections? You know, so that's a very funny situation right now, you know, ironical as well as funny in that way. But yes, interestingly speaking, I guess that if you are talking about the camps and everything, it would be very important for the BJP actually to win the by-polls. Because if they lose the by-polls from here, not only the morale of the cadre will go down, I guess that it will give a very, very important upswing for Akhilesh Yadav to basically now corner the remaining anti-BJP votes in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Akhilesh Yadav has already become one pole of the UP politics, the anti-BJP pole.
Okay, I'm out of time. Since Sanju
I need to
Verma
come in
has a
quickly.
hand up in the interest of fairness, 20 seconds, Sanju Verma.
You know, Rahul, let's be very clear. We did lose seats in Uttar Pradesh in Lok Sabha 2024, but our vote share was 43.31%. Samajwadi Party's was 43.51%. I always say one swallow does not make it a summer. Lok Sabha 2014, 2019, 2024, तीन लोक सभा मिलाकर समाजवादी पार्टी का उत्तर प्रदेश से tally is 63 seats. For the BJP from Uttar Pradesh in the last 3 Lok Sabha elections, our tally is 170. So समाजवादी पार्टी के अखिलेश यादव के लिए मेरा एक सुझाव है. He says monsoon offer, 100 लाओ सरकार बनाओ. तो अखिलेश यादव जी, monsoon offer ये है, forget 2027. आप 2032 की तैयारी कीजिए, because एक कहावत है, हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत क्या है, लेकिन दिल को खुश करने के लिए गालिब ये ख्याल अच्छा है.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, I'm out of time. Do you accept that the assembly by-polls then become very crucial? How prepped are you for them?
Rahul, the point I wanted to make that will also affect the assembly by-polls is BJP's hateful model of projecting their propaganda politics is over. Their Hindutva laboratory of Uttar Pradesh is over. Whether this by-polls or
You are
subsequent
still
elections
sitting in the
will have to depend on administrative power to turn around rather than the power of hate.
Okay.
That is the big message of 2024.
I think everyone has spoken. You've heard points of view from different parts of the political divide. Make no mistake, Yogi Adityanath was and remains a formidable political player. So for anybody to think it's going to be easy for the BJP to change him or that they even want to change him, that could just be wishful thinking on the part of his opponents. There is no equal match between Yogi Adityanath and Keshav Maurya. Keshav Maurya is his deputy. He may have his own political aspirations, but they're not two equal forces that you're talking about. And I think the BJP at the center is well cognizant of that. Naturally, their tally has gone down, and therefore there is soul searching, all kinds of conspiracy theories internally, externally on what went wrong. And that, frankly, is quite natural. It may not have happened for 10 years because you were winning constantly and there's nothing to bicker about. The moment there is a defeat, it is only natural that questions are asked and all kinds of unkind things are said. So some kind of normalcy also returning to Indian politics. I want to thank our guests for joining us and for lighting up this conversation with the power of their argument. Let's see what happens next. As Shantanu Gupta said, Yogi Adityanath matters. People track what he says, and therefore there is naturally a lot of interest on everything that happens or doesn't happen in Uttar Pradesh.